Man, I can't believe how my grandpa used to live. One job, 3 kids, vacations every year. Now I can't even afford the driveway. That's because 1 income used to mean stability. Now 2 barely keep the lights on. But why? We're still working full time. Ain't we doing the same thing? Yeah, but the math changed. If minimum wage had actually kept up with housing prices, you'd be making up to $66 an hour today. 66? I'm barely making 12. Yeah, that's because the federal minimum's not a wage. It's economic gaslighting. So what was it back then? In 1978, it was $2.65, and a house cost $55 grand. Now, that same house is over $450,000, and everything else is just as expensive too. So everything went up except the paycheck? Exactly. And somehow, boomers turned that theft into a lecture. They bought low, sold high, and then blamed us for not skipping brunch. No wonder I feel like I'm drowning. I need 4 jobs just to stay afloat. And here's the kicker. They tell us to just save up for a house while they're out there buying their second one. In cash. Jesus, what savings? My rent eats my soul. I feel you, Randy. They inherited a working system, gutted it for profit, and now act like we're lazy for not building a life out of the scraps they already sold. So the middle class didn't fade, it got mugged. By the same greedy bastards who cashed out on fairness, then handed us a bill and said, maybe don't buy avocado toast. Damn. So they never really cared about us? You'd have seen that coming if you actually followed what I was telling you. So don't be like Randy. Make sure you're following me.
Follow him.
Behind every no contact story, there's usually a boomer parent saying, I have no idea why my kid won't talk to me, and an adult child who's completely exhausted from trying to explain it. Boomers are allergic to accountability. They act like grandparent toddlers, pouting, lying, manipulating, and demanding attention the second they don't get their way. They think they're the star of everyone's story, but they ruin their own families by refusing to learn basic communication, empathy, or conflict resolution skills.
Facts.
We've had to be the grown-ups, explaining to our parents how to be decent humans, and that's not our job. Nobody wants to go no contact with their parents. But when the rumors get back to you that they have no idea what they did, and people are looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Take that as confirmation that you made the right choice. My mother was willing to lose me rather than owning her truth and seeking help. You don't have to maintain a relationship with boomer adult toddlers just because they're your parents. There's lots of other people out there that would be happy to love you.
We spent a long time perfecting this economy. Now we entrust it to you. Thank you. This is pretty neat. Kind of like this. You might not want to do that. It's kind of fragile. No, it's all right. I got it. Just. It's their fault. They don't want to have kids. It's their fault.
Why don't you just walk into the office, hand them your resume, and ask for the job? I was able to afford a home in my day with 1 job. There is a certain level of delusion that all boomers innately have because they cannot just comprehend the fact that they lived in the best economic times and we now live in the worst economic time. That little window where boomers could buy a house for a bottle of Coke and 2 nickels, completely over. Now millennials and Gen Z have twice as much debt at the same age as them and are expected to somehow rise above that station given the conditions that we're living in.
Boomers have got to be partaking in one of the most elaborate and largest psyops in human history because they just make zero fucking sense ever. Like, you can look them dead in the face and be like, hey, I graduated college.
Yeah.
And I'm making $50K a year.
Played by the rules.
A mediocre job. I cannot afford a $700,000 house. And I can't afford to start a family right now. And they'll just tell you to work harder and that you're lazy. And it's like, I need a reason not to kill these people right now. Like, are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? They are such a soulless, self-absorbed group.
Yep.
Like, and I'm talking in general, right? Like, of course,
it's not all
you
of
meet
them.
people and they're like, fine, whatever. But on a whole, fuck them. Like, genuinely, like, they can all die. I cannot wait for them all to fucking die.
You work hard enough and you save your money and do it right, you could be like me, be tired.
Okay.
I don't have to get up in the morning. I don't have to do nothing. Okay?
So you're telling me niggas in the 70s used to get off of their 40-hour work week as a fucking milkman to their 2-story house that they own, mind you, with a Mustang in the driveway that they could use to drive to not 1, not 2, but 3 of their secret families that they take care of all simultaneously. Then go to the club that Friday. Not just go to the club, but go to the club where they're playing the new single that Michael Jackson just dropped.
And there's a guy in the back selling $20 grams of pure Colombian. This is why I don't argue with boomers. Because imagine going from that and now somebody in 2025 is telling you I can barely afford my 1-bedroom apartment working 3 jobs. I would think that nigga trolling.
Why are old people always suggesting the most miserable lives that you should live? You tell them, I have a dream, I want to do this thing. And they're like, you should go to college for 4 years, get a job for 25, marry someone that you definitely fucking hate, make jokes about how you hate them all the time, and then just grow old and die and complain that the younger generations aren't as cool as you the whole time you're dying. It's like, that sounds awful. I have a coworker. Well, I had a coworker. He's retired. And I started working there 2 years ago. I hate every second that I'm there. I desperately want a new job. He worked there for 28-ish years. The same desk and the same chair and the same building for nearly 3 decades. And he's like, you're smarter than your generation. You keep it up, you'll be able to reach retirement wealthy like me. And I'm like, I would rather die at 50 alone, cold and wet somewhere than live the life that you have lived.
Right.
It sounds...
That's why they miserable. Right.
Awful. It's boring. You did nothing. You've gone nowhere. You've met nobody. Why would I want to do that?
Baby boomers suck. And they suck for 3 main reasons. The first is that they're the most selfish generation in human history.
Facts.
Second is that they're going to be the longest living generation in human history. And the third is that they want to maintain the empire.
This is the part that
right?
pisses
So let me go through each one by one. Baby boomers are selfish. Everyone knows this. They had the most luxurious life. But the problem is that if you always lived a life of comfort and security and prosperity, you become a selfish individual because you think you deserve all this.
Right.
Okay. The other thing is that the baby boomers have a religion, and it's an achievement. It's an ethos of achievement and accumulation. The more, the better.
Right.
The bigger, the better. The more money I have, the better. The longer I live, the better.
Right.
I need to accumulate and achieve in order to signify my value, my worth. And their greed, their selfishness, is destroying the environment, it's destroying the economy, and ultimately it's going to kill their children.
This message is for Gen Z. We baby boomers, we screwed you guys over big time. You either come from 2 kinds of households. One like ours, where my husband and I acknowledged to our kids that we really screwed them over. Life was a lot easier for us when I was a kid financially. Or you come from the kind of household where your parents or grandparents are like, you think you had it bad, look at how bad we had it. So I looked some stuff up. In 1973, when I was a kid, and my dad was a factory rat, he worked a machine making toilet paper. The price of a house compared to your average median income was a ratio of 3 to 1. And in 1973, home ownership was a standard milestone. Okay. Today, the price of a house to the income ratio is 5 to 2. And owning a home is a major financial hurdle. In 1973, a middle-class family could afford to raise 3 children on a single income. And after paying their house payments, their health care costs, and taxes, they were still left with 50% of their discretional income, like our family. That's how we were able to afford a built-in pool and go to Disney World and all sorts of things. Today, after paying these 3 things, house payment, health care, and taxes, it eats up 75% of your discretionary income. And providing a family of 3 children a comfortable lifestyle is now considered a high income luxury. And speaking of college, in 1973, You could work a full-time summer job and pay off an entire year of college and room and board and books. Today, we're leaving you with decades of debt. Speaking of healthcare, up until 1973, when President Nixon and Republicans passed the HMO Act of 1973, healthcare companies were nonprofit. We barely paid that much in healthcare premiums each year, and we had virtually no out-of-pocket costs. Today, paying for healthcare is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States.
Which is crazy.
And here's one more fun fact. In 1973, the cost of a new car cost roughly 26% of your annual median income for a middle-class family. Today, it's 60%. We screwed you guys over, passing Citizens United, union busting, allowing healthcare companies to become for-profit, and so much more. You're not going to hear me tell you guys you have it easier than I did. I had it a lot easier than you guys have it. And from me to you, I am so sorry about this, and I'm fighting to change this.
Man, I can't believe how
I added a little bit of satire, a little bit of comedy, just so, like I said, excuse me, my chair, I need a new chair. I can't afford a new chair. All right. I can't afford a new chair right now. Hence the reason why I'm making this video. Okay. Number one, right? When we go in with this video, he's talking about, you know, pretty much everything that I said in the last video, right? And if you haven't saw it, it's going to be attached to this video or the one before. Please go and watch that video. Getting a lot of responses from it. But anyway, my main thing with what he's saying is, you know, like you said, everything is, we can't afford anything, right? And if you look into the comment section of the previous video, it's nonstop. I probably have a 99.999% ratio on most people my age, younger and older, that agree with this sentiment, right? Also, please, if you get a chance, please hit the hype button. YouTube has a new button. You hype it up. There's a hype button below. I think it's above the comments, and you have to scroll over to the right. Please, please. The channel is growing. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back into the content. I have a whole bunch of notes here that we got to get to. Okay. The number one thing, right, is that they grew up in the economic boom, right? So a lot of things, and the one guy said, like, you know, we didn't have any wars actually on American soil here, which is true, right? Vietnam was fought in Vietnam. You know, the Soviet Union and all that other stuff that was fought overseas. So we've never experienced the same detriment that other countries had as far as like having to rebuild infrastructure and everything like that. We've just been building. We've just been building, and they were around for the economic boom, right? And this is one of the conversations that, you know, I have with the boomers that, you know, I attend to, let's just say, daily, that you guys went when college was cheap or damn near free, right? A lot of them got degrees for less than, I think it was like less than 8,000, something crazy. I can't even imagine that. I'm currently putting a child through private school, and heck, bruh, if you know private schools, then you know, okay? Cheaper college, right? I gotta pause here because she made some very, very good points. Let's listen real close, real quick.
Conflict resolution skills. We've had to be the grown-ups, explaining to our parents
Right.
how to be decent humans, and that's not our job. Nobody wants to go no contact with their parents.
Right.
But when the rumors get back to you that they have no idea what they did, and people are looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Take that as confirmation that you made the right choice.
And that is that part of the reason why, if I told you guys about that one couple I consider family, why I got rid of them, for that specific reason. It's the gaslighting for me, right? Where they will literally do stuff and then pretend and act like they don't know why, and run around spreading false narratives, lying, being manipulative, gaslighting. Okay? I had to get them out of the picture. Back to the topic of the video. They won't retire. My biggest thing and my biggest gripe with baby boomers is the lack of you guys wanting to mentor people that actually want to learn. Right? I want to learn. I want to know how you did it, how you got it. Can you show me how to get it? I want to be mentored, whether it be real estate, HVAC, whatever. I want to be mentored, right? And if you are a boomer that mentors without charging the arm and the leg, we appreciate it because I understand time is money, money is time. I get it, right? Nobody's offering mentorship. It's just let's talk. This is what we mean by stomp, step over, stomp, pull the ladder up, right? You're not helping. We're in this position now because of you, not us. I can recall being a elementary school kid. I think I really started hearing this around 5th, 6th grade. I remember it in particular. The teacher used to say, hey, when you guys get older, there's going to be no retirement for you. There's going to be no Social Security. Hold on. What you mean? What you mean there's not going to be nothing for us, but it's going to be, you're going to get older and pay into what we need, but when you get older, there's not going to be nothing for you. What type of shit is that? Wait a minute. Oh, well, the country, right? That's why, right? As a Black American male from the hood, I never bought into the whole, America's the greatest country on the planet. I never bought into that bullshit. Because how are we the greatest country, but we're in debt to everybody? Oh, we got national debt. Hold on, bro. Just forget all the extra political science and, the technicalities, all the extra smart people, nerd shit, right? How are we the strongest country, best country, most economical ecosystem, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? Critique me in the comments. I don't give a shit. I know I'm saying it wrong on purpose. How are we that, but we owe everybody? That's like somebody owing you money, but they're calling you a bum. How you better than me, but you owe me? I never bought into that lie. I never bought into the lie that we're the best country. Why? Based off of military? That's it? Based off of having wars and killing people? That's how we're the best? You look over, bro, I love watching these videos of people that are former Americans that moved over to like China and all these. These people are living well in communist countries. Well, and are not taxed to death. Once they own it, it's theirs. And I get it. You have 1% middle class, poor. You have there is a class in between poor and middle class. All right? And then there's poor, and then there's extremely poor, and then there's homeless. You have that in every society. I understand that. But for the vast majority of people, right, that bought into the system in the United States of, well, if you work, right, and this is where they trick this. If you work, if you do this, if you go to school, this is what you should get. Upon us doing that, we found out that that is a lie. It's not true. It has never been true. Did y'all not know? I think the Social Security number wasn't even around until like the 80s or something crazy. I'm not Googling. Check me in the comments, right? So the people that invented all of this, you got to remember, guys, if they're not past and gone, they're still in charge and making these rules today. This is the reason why I'm telling people, as I've always said, right? You have, this guy's kind of funny. Matter of fact, sorry, I'm gonna stick to the topic because I got so many notes. I got like 30 minutes worth of notes. I'm gonna try to speed it up as fast as I can. We were talking about mentorship, right? I'm one of those people where you don't have to give me anything. I don't want anything. I want you to show me how to make my own food. Don't make it for me. Show me how to gather the stuff I need so I can make my own shit. Please. I'm reaching out. Even now, right now, I still want mentorship. I want to learn how to edit videos better. If there's anybody in the comments that knows how to edit videos and can help me with that, please help me. Please. I am open to mentorship. I want mentorship. And I pay homage, as in I give credit to people that helped me do something that I couldn't do. I'm not going to use it, get there, and pretend like nobody ever helped me to get there, right? The thing about baby boomers, right? So he's spitting some bullshit. Hold on. Wait. And I wanted to add, like I said, I try to add little comedic things in between to give people, so, you know, some stuff to kind of laugh at and to kind of build the story, right? Hold on.
Enough, and you save your money and do it right, you could be like me, retired.
Okay.
I don't have to get up in the morning. I don't have to do nothing. Okay?
So you want to live your life. You want to save up and suffer until the day you can't do anything with it. Number one. Number two, saving your money does nothing. Give me all the financial gurus, please. Saving your money does nothing. It does nothing for you. You put your money in the only way your savings make money for you is you have it in a high yield savings bank account, which most people don't, because most of the best high yielding savings accounts are online. Most people don't have them. It's not your local bank that you go to, your ESL, your MNT. It's not any of those. You can't save yourself in our position. You can't save yourself to live wealthy, to live well off, to be able to, like he said, I don't get up in the morning, I don't this and that and the third. Y'all told us we're going to work to the day we die. That's crazy. We can't save. We got to invest. This is where the whole mentorship thing for me is coming in. I want somebody to mentor me. I've tried 30 different ways to be mentored, right? And I've been scammed trying to be mentored by people, paying people to teach me a skill set that I can learn to change my position, and nobody's willing to do it. And if they are, they scam you. But this is our fault, though. You got one of the clients that I currently has a husband that's in charge, like a big wig around here, and X, Y, and Z, right? Late 70s or whatever. He has so much money. They got 3 houses. They barely, I see them. They here for 2 weeks, gone for 2 weeks. Here for 2 weeks, gone for 2 weeks. Got 2 houses, 3 houses. Got a cottage. Got a house here, a house there. Oh, sorry. A house here, a condo here, a cottage, and a house down south somewhere. I'm not gonna say what in case this video get out. I ain't trying to put nobody business out there, right? But he won't retire. That position could be filled with somebody 30 years younger than you that can do the job. They won't move. This is what we're saying about you guys won't move out the way. You have enough. You got 1 house. You got a huge house in one of the most expensive parts of the town here. Expensive. Those are $1 million houses. You have a cottage up north. You have a condo here. And you have a house down south. This is what we're talking about. It's greedy. It's greed because you're running the market up and we can't afford after you're done with that, right? If you guys don't sell it to some big ass entity, right, which they're trying to do, that's going to capitalize everything. If you don't sell it to them, it's going to be so far out of reach. We don't make enough to even buy your leftovers. We can't even buy the leftovers. All right. Oh, boy. Then you have the fact that, as the lady was stating before, how they'll die on a lie. They will literally die on a lie, knowing it's a lie. Okay? This is where I've had many confrontations with a lot of boomers because I live truth. I live real. That's where I come from. That's my integrity. That's how I was raised. That's how the people that raised me are. I have integrity. Okay? She would say, the one person would say, you don't teach your, do you celebrate Christmas? Like, yeah, yeah. Well, do your kids believe it? Do your kids still believe in Santa, right? I'm like, hell no. Why would they not believe in Santa? I'm like, because Santa's not real. Well, that's not right. No, it's very right. It's accurate, actually. Even if it's based off of something from back then. There's no big white guy coming through this black guy's chimney, putting gifts down for his kids. And the father that's working hard, that bought all the gifts, went into debt to make sure they have a Christmas, is not getting credit for that. That shit happened to me one time and never again. Put every gift said from Santa, from Santa, from Santa, from Santa. Right? My son said, Dad, you didn't give me anything for Christmas? That was when I stopped doing that shit. I will not lie. I have integrity, regardless of how you feel about it. It's not a feel-good story. I will not die on a lie. Boomers do that. The mystical stuff. And again, like I said, we're not talking about all of them, but we're talking about most of them.
Telling me niggas in the 70s used to get off of their 40-hour work week as a fucking milkman to their 2-story house that they own, mind you, with a Mustang in the driveway that they could use to drive to not 1, not 2, but 3 of their secret families that they
That's the other part too, them secret families, but
care of all simultaneously. Then go to the club that Friday. Not just go to the club, but go to the club where they're playing the new single that Michael Jackson just dropped. And there's a guy in the back selling $20 grams of pure Colombian.
See?
This is why I don't
everything that they dislike, they used to indulge in or they indulge in. Everything. We're not in this position because we didn't work hard, guys. And this is what I want the message from this video to be. We doing all this arguing online, people being racist toward each other, all type of weirdo shit. The problem is, right, the boomers, the vast majority of them are still in these positions and people keep voting this way. You don't participate in your local elections. You don't actively participate as you should. I used to be one of those people in any election. Right? You don't go to these town hall meetings. You don't do nothing. And you're wondering why these people keep trying to make decisions for us, the younger generation. That's why. We got to get them out of there. That's just what it is. We're so hopeless right now. We're just banking on all of them to die and then we maybe can take over. That's some weak shit. That shit is weak. I'm going to be honest with you. And you can hold me accountable for that too, but that shit weak. That's weak. We got to wait until they die. How about making the right choices and voting correctly to get them out? This is what I'm saying. It's never to me been about Democrat or Republican. We have people in their 50s, right, whom we can say is more than qualified to doing the job the president can do and actually think clear about it and not be emotional and ego tripping. There are people that can do that. There are people that can function in their mid to late 50s. I'm not saying to have a bunch of 20-year-olds in these high-ranking positions. I'm not saying that. We do need senior leadership, but at the same time, we don't need people that are wearing diapers daily to make decisions for us. That's just the truth. You don't wear diapers daily and make decisions for the collective when you're on your way out the door and fuck it up for all of us. That's crazy work. That's all I'm saying. Excuse my language. I get a little passionate about this. Listen, I'm not getting all these notes, bro. I can't stay on topic. It's too personal. right? But the overwhelming support that I got from the last video, and there's so many I never thought I would have so many comments on the video I can't respond to them. That's crazy. Thank you again. Most of the boomers, like I said, they indulge in all the things that they don't want us to. They did coke, they did everything, but push the narrative down on us. Oh, well, you guys do drugs and you're not working hard and this, that, and the. Bro, I've been working since I was 13, 12 years old, man. I'm 37. I've been working since 12, 13 years old, bro. I need the definition of what hard work is. And we're not just talking about like, most of these people are not people that were engineers or you say engineers or construction people or people that actually build infrastructure. These are part-time teachers. These are Army Reserve, no disrespect to people in service, but you have some people that do the minimum for 4 years, go and stand post, work a regular job, and they think you should just roll the red carpet out for them just because. I'm not knocking your service. Thank you for your service. But I never thank you for a war that we're not supposed to be fighting in anyway. I never thank you to killing innocent people. Never. Never. And those that know who I am, they know who that's directed to and what it's about. So don't take it personal, right? The other thing is, when we say drain this, you had certain administrations saying drain the swamp. Boomers are the swamp. We will be better off when the younger generation is able to control some things. Until that happens, guys, we're going to keep dealing with this. You have to engage in these conversations. You have to let people know that their logic and how they're going about shit is BS. You have to. I used to try to stay away from these kind of conversations because it mess up the money, and this and that and the third. I can't do that. Like I said, I have too much integrity. I'll be homeless and poor. I won't be homeless or poor because I'll find a way. I always been that type. I will lose everything just to prove my point, especially about my humility, my dignity, my respect. You need to engage with these people and let them know, especially if you have boomer parents. My mom had me when she was young, so I don't really know what it's like to have a parent in their 70s. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my grandmother raised me, but I don't know what it's like to have a parent, an actual parent, boomer. My grandmother passed away about 11 years ago. She's the woman that raised me, but looking at so many different comments, you have an overwhelming amount of people that sentimentally say the same thing. Selfish, greedy, narcissistic as hell, gaslighters, professional gaslighters. You guys are the inception. You are the beginning stages. You are the ones who invented gaslighting. You. And I challenge any boomers. Let's talk about it. I really want to know your guys' positioning on this. If you are a boomer that disagrees with this, there's a lot there. Like I said, there are boomers that admit this and know that they screwed us. You know what I'm saying? And remember, don't think just because you're not a boomer in a high ranking position that you had no effect on this. If you voted over the course of history the same way, you're responsible for this shit. You. The same way people are responsible for who's in office right now. If you voted for that, you're the reason why. We could have had a younger, sharper, more mentally fit option. You didn't want that. You didn't want that. For whatever your reasons may be. You just didn't want that. So you have some people too that actually voted against their own interests and are now complaining about it too. And that's a whole nother dynamic. I ain't gonna get into that. But sitting back and just complaining on the internet, guys, is not gonna do it. You gotta engage in these convos. Let them know they wrong. I don't care how much they're dismissive. Cut their ass off. They don't want to listen. Okay, fine. If you don't have enough respect for me to even hear what I have to say and my positioning on things, then I gotta cut you off. I'm not saying we gotta agree on everything to have people in our lives. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's respect at the end of the day. Respect. Right? They respect you. They're gonna hear what you have to say. Most boomers don't want to hear what nobody because they don't respect anyone but themselves. They have this false delusion that they are the archetype of hard work, which is a lie. It is a lie. You can't measure hard work. You can't. You can't really measure it. You have, like I said, a part-time teacher is, in my opinion, not necessarily hard work, but I'm not a part-time teacher, right? A part-time substitute teacher, let me get that correct. I'm not a part-time substitute. So you can't really necessarily measure. You have some people that have 14, 15-hour days staring at computer screens. To me, that's hard work, right? But for what I do every day, not necessarily. It's not hard work to me. Now, what I do on the side is hard work. I cut grass. I do a whole bunch of stuff on the side just to supplement income. You know what I mean? So to grow up in the era where everything was easier, you had pensions, you had good jobs, the Kodaks, the Xeroxes. Now everything is overseas, right? They sold us out overseas and told us they want everything back. But they voted to get the shit overseas. And still voted to keep it overseas. We haven't got one job. This administration promised to bring jobs back to America. Not one job has been brought back. He said he was going to do that on day one. Haven't heard nothing about it. And we're not. Stop falling for the boomers bullshit. Ayo Bassel TV, like, comment, share. Please hit the hype. How you wait. Hit the hype button, yo. The shit behind me, this way. I can't point. This way. Hit the hype button, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone. Ayo Bassel TV. Like, comment, share. See y'all on the next one. Peace.